Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to OG Reflections, my YouTube channel. Today, inshallah, I've got a very interesting psychological riddle, something different, inshallah. Okay, this is actually something that my friend told me. It was a psychological riddle. He told me maybe a couple of years ago, and it sort of says a lot about everybody's personality, right? And a couple of years ago, I did it. I did it in my own way, and it was different. This time, inshallah, when I did it recently, also it was in a different way. Okay, so I guess as everybody's personality changes over time, then you see it in a different way. Okay, this is a psychological riddle, and there's no right or wrong answer, but it shows a person's personality. Okay, so let's start. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is a psychological riddle. Okay, there's a married couple. Okay, a good man, okay, and his wife. They love each other so much, right? One day they live on an island. Okay, one day the husband has to leave and he has to go to another island to find work, to work and find a job. But he tells his wife, "I'm gonna come back soon. Please don't come and find me. Promise, please. I'm gonna come back soon. Please don't come. I'm gonna come back soon, inshallah." Right. So that's what happens. She promises and she says, "Okay, I'll wait for you. No problem." Now, the wife obviously initially says yes, and she promises to listen to her husband, but after a while, she notices her husband still hasn't come back, and she misses him so much, so she starts to worry about him, and she says, "Okay, well, I have to go to the other island. I have to go to the other island. I have to find my husband to see what's the problem, if everything's okay, because I miss him so much." Now, so she wants to leave the island. She goes to a boatman. Okay, boatman, that's character number 3. She goes to the boatman and she asks the boatman, "Please, can you take me to the other side, the other island?" Now, the only problem is the boatman asks for a decent amount. He asks for a big amount of money. Okay, and she doesn't have enough money. So he says, "Okay, well, in that case, I'm going to take the clothes that you're wearing. Okay, if you don't have money, then I can take the clothes that you're wearing." Okay, she doesn't know what to do, so instead she goes and she finds a family in the same island, right? In the same island she's in, she finds a family that live together, right? Not her family, just a family. And she asks them, she knocks on the door and she says, "Please, the boatman wants to take my clothes because I don't have enough money. Please, can you help me?" Now the father in the family says, "I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. I can't help you. There's nothing I can do, sadly. You know, I've got my own family to take care of," right? So after that, she goes around the island and she finds a man labeled as an evil man. An evil man. Now she goes to this evil man, and the evil man promises her. He promises her. He said, "Okay, I can give you the money. I can give you the money, but you have to be unfaithful. You have to be unfaithful. You have to cheat on your husband, obviously, with the evil man, right?" Now the wife, she's in a very tough predicament. She misses her husband so much, she's worrying about her husband, so, and she needs money, and she can't go across unless she has money, so she accepts to be unfaithful. Okay, the evil man gives her the money, she takes the money, she goes to the boatman and is able to go to the next island, or to the other part, to the other island, other part of the or the other island, yes. Okay, now once the good man, her husband, once the good man knows what she did, he divorces her. Once the good man knows what she did, he divorces her. Okay, because he's got a reputation to keep. Now, so this is a very interesting story. In the story, we have 5 different characters, right? The good man, the husband, right, and his wife, and the boatman, and the family, and the evil man. Okay, just to say it again in a summary, there's a couple live together, and the man has to leave, go to another island to find the work. He tells his wife, "Please, you have to wait for me." She promises, she says yes. She can't, she misses him so much. She goes to the boatman, she doesn't have enough money. He asks for her clothes, she can't do that. She goes to a family, they can't help her. She goes to the evil man, he promises to give her money if she's unfaithful. She misses her husband so much, so she accepts to be unfaithful, and then she takes the money, goes to the other side of the other island, and once the good man knows what happened, he divorces her. This is the story, this is the psychological riddle. Now, the question, okay, and everybody's going to see it in his or her own different way. And that's why you have to think about it carefully. The question is, rank these 5 different characters from least ethical to the most ethical. Rank these 5 different characters from the least ethical, as in the worst character, to the best character, or the best out of the 5. The worst out of the 5, number 1, second worst, number 2, 3, 4, and then number 5 is the least worst or the best. Okay? I'll give you a minute and you can pause the video. Pause the video, give it a minute to think about it, because it's going to tell me a lot about your personality. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video now. You can think about it and then you can come back. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, welcome back. So I'm guessing you have thought about it. Okay, these are the 5 different characters. Now, every character of these 5 represents something. The wife went to the other side of the island, right? Or she missed her husband so much, so she was driven by love. Okay, in other words, these are not 5 characters, these are 5 different values that every person cares about. Okay, the wife represents love. Okay, as for the family said no, right? They couldn't help her. Why? Because the family represents responsibility. Okay, he has to take care of his children, he has to take care of his wife. Okay, so the family initially said no, even though they knew that the boatman asked for the clothes, but what can they do, right? So the family represents responsibility. Very good. As for the boatman wanted what? He wanted money, because he's doing his job, right? And if he doesn't have money, then he can take her clothes. In other words, he represents money or his rights. Okay, the things that he feels he's entitled to have. Okay, so the boatman represents money. Very, very good. Okay, who else do we have? We have the evil man. The evil man is labeled as an evil man, and he's driven by lust or temptation or the evil desire. Okay, so the evil man represents lust. And then finally, the good man, he represents honor. Okay, because he's labeled as a good man, he has a reputation to keep, right? So as soon as he knows his wife cheated on him, he divorces her, right? So he represents honor. Okay, so again, the 5 different characters or the 5 different values. Woman represents love, boatman represents money and rights, family represents responsibility, evil man represents lust and temptation, and the good man represents honor. Okay, honor, dignity, pride. Very, very good. How did you rank them? Okay, the thing is, in order to know more about your personality, okay, then you would look at from number 5 to number 1. Meaning what? If you said least ethical, and then second least ethical, and then third least ethical, and then fourth least ethical, and then 5 least ethical, okay, your personality, the things that you care about the most, would be number 5. That's the most thing you care about, and then number 4, and then number 3, and then number 2, and then number 1. For example, I'll explain me. For example, in my situation, I thought the least ethical person was the boatman. Okay, the boatman. A lot of people will say, no, why? He didn't do anything wrong. No, I don't like the boatman, to be honest, because I feel he's even though it is his money and it is his right, but he's just driven by money. In other words, he could lose his value, he could lose his values, his principle, just for the sake of money. This represents a lot of corrupt people, to be honest, and I know a lot of people like that, sadly, that could do anything for the sake of money. I've dealt with a lot of people like that. So I don't know. Again, it's my opinion. I'm very subjective. But number 1 to me is the least ethical person is the boatman. Okay. Number 2 would be the evil man, because he is labeled as an evil man. In other words, if I know he's evil and I go and listen to him, then it's my problem for listening to him. He's like the devil. Okay. And if I listen to the devil, for example, then it's my problem. Okay, it's my problem for listening to him. I know he's a bad person already. He's labeled as an evil man. Okay, so to me, number 2 would be the evil man. Number 3, um, again, we don't know the relationship between the husband and the wife. To me, they're both wrong. So 3 and 4 would be the husband and wife, or wife and husband. Okay, I don't know which is which, to be honest, but both of them are wrong, because I don't know, because I can't really say who was more wrong, but it's a bad communication, basically. But probably let's say number 3 would be the wife because she was unfaithful, and then number 4 would be the husband, and then finally number 5 would be the family because they're driven by responsibility, and this represents each and every one of us. For example, when they see people, for example, asking for charity and asking for money, well, I wish I could help everybody. Honestly, I wish, honest to God, I could help everybody, but I can't. If I help him and him and him and him and him, then I won't have anything for myself at the end. I wish, right? But that is the problem. So as I said, my ranking would be number 1. The worst one would be the boatman, and then the evil man, right? And then the wife, and then the husband, the good man, and then the family. Okay, and as we said, each of these represents something. Number 1, which is the money. Number 2, which is the lust. Okay, number 3, which is love. Number 4, which is honor, and then number 5, which is responsibility. Okay, now if you want to know your personality, then switch it from number 5 to number 1. So in other words, in my case, this says that I value more. The most thing that I value would be responsibility, and then it would be honor, for example, and then it would be love, and then it would be temptation or lust, and then it would be money. Okay, what do you think? Does this also fit with your personality? Like, what's your ranking from 1 to 5, and what do you value from number 5 to number 1? Do you agree with this ranking? I did it a couple of years ago, and it was sort of correct. I did it recently also, and I guess this is the new ranking, or this is what I value most. I don't know. I think it's sort of, most of it is true, to be honest, and I sort of agree. How about yourself? What do you think? Please make sure to write in the comments, okay, your ranking. Please make sure to say if this is what you really believe in. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and tell me about this psychological riddle. Do you agree or do you disagree? So that's us for today. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Good.